Hello, welcome to my thoughts video about Mafia Country. I just finished the game. It took me about 15 hours on the hardest difficulty. And I wanted to share my thoughts about this game. More my full playthrough is visible in the YouTube, so you can check it out there. First off, I'm gonna start with my recommendation. And then I'm gonna go into the details of my recommendation, so you can do your best decisions yourself. First off, I cannot recommend this game at current state. This game is technically broken. By no means is in a playable ship. I did my best to finish this game, but it wasn't fun to restart the game every 1 hour mark because it crashed, or I had to deal with very random FPS drops during the gameplay. It needs many optimizations and overall stability fixes before I would say that yes, I could recommend this game. Once those optimizations and technical fixes are there, I will take a second look at the game and basically refresh my opinion. Story. The story of this game is, I'd say it was interesting. I've seen some people saying that story is short and it's a coach movie game where you're mostly in cutscenes. I don't really agree with this. There were cutscenes, of course, but all of those cutscenes were setting up the atmosphere and help you to understand what's coming next. So for me, this was really cool. I like those that you had the gameplay pieces, then you had some cutscene, giving you more context, giving the situation. And overall, those cutscenes were very well made. They were good. They were nice to watch. Stories itself is what you can expect from the Mafia game. I saw many parallels into Mafia 1 with the story. There was many similar missions that you had in Mafia 1. The story flow was very similar to Mafia 1. But story itself has everything that you want from this kind of game. It has fights, shootings, love, betrayal, all the necessary pieces to build this dramatical being of Mafia, or being part of the Mafia family. It's nothing too different from other Mafia games, but still it is interesting, especially if you have enjoyed the previous games. Small caveat was that part of the story was very easy to guess. Like at some point of the game, it was very easy to guess what's gonna happen next, who you're gonna betray or who's gonna betray you next. So yeah, that's the thing there. But overall the story is not going to blow your mind away, but it's still interesting. So I definitely recommend to at least play through or watch it through. Driving in the game. So I'm now going to talk about other mechanics in the game, because the driving is one of the big things in every Mafia game, and you're gonna do this a lot. Car driving in the game was one of my favorites, really. I don't know why, but it felt extremely nice, as early 1900s cars supposedly are harder to drive and maneuver, and that was exactly the feeling I got. Brakes are not very efficient. Like when you're speeding a lot, you're pulling full brakes, you're not gonna stop there right away. You're gonna slide, and you're gonna slide a lot, and you're gonna hit the tree. That happens. Cars can go fast, they feel heavy, and that's how it's supposed to be, because that's what the cars are. Those cars are. They are not as efficient as today's cars. Shooting, another big part of the game. I really enjoyed that the main character wasn't born sharpshooter. You know, your crosshair didn't aim for 100% and locked in a perfect place to provide you the headshot. You actually had to play around to get those headshots. And even if you had the crosshair well aligned, your gun may not be 100% precise. So it maybe like you could miss your fire basically there. So yeah, well aimed shot in most cases did the job, but sometimes it missed. And it all added a touch into this early 1900s era, which this game was going for. And I really like this. So it gave me this immersion that I was in this 1900s, early 1900s. Knife fights. This is the new thing in the Mafia series. In Mafia 3 you had your main character Lincoln who were able to kill enemies with the knife, but this here was actually knife combat 1-to-1 combats, usually reserved for boss fights. This was very interesting touch in the Mafia series. It's a new thing in the series. We've never had this before, and it felt good. Initially, it was hard for me to actually get understanding how it works, because the way the controls are set up in the controller, which I didn't change at all, weren't as intuitive for me. But that later, the more I played, I learned them, and the better I got them. So part of the knife fights is a bit of Souls-like combat, where you had to well time your parries and dodges in order to get this open window to attack your enemy. While I said I got better at there, I still sucked. I usually suck at those timing-based games, but yeah, it was there. It wasn't anything hard, and I was playing the hardest difficulty, so it's very doable. Bad thing about knife fights really was that, and I will talk about a bit more in the next section, is that it was very easy to guess when there's gonna be a knife fight. You never guessed who, but you could always guess that there is gonna be a knife fight, because the way that your area was set up was like arena, and then you could see that okay, arena was set up, now there's gonna be a fight night. Yeah, usually somebody left dead from that night fight, and you had to win it. So, open world. I didn't spend any time in open world, and by that I mean I didn't go to this exploration mode. I only went through this main story, which is not the typical thing I do. I usually spend a lot of time on the open world, and then by the time I level whatever too strong for everybody else, I'm gonna do the main story. I'm gonna steamroll over the main story. This time I didn't do this. This is because the game is crashing that lot, and I didn't want to spend any time to lose my progress in the open world in order for the game crash, so I didn't risk it. Let's see. And while open world was there, I usually tried to check the inside. Like whenever you went to the mission, you had some area where you were supposed to be. If you tried to exit that area, the game started to count down that hey, you need to come back. I usually try to search the mission area about potential collectibles, but I never really went to the additional exploration area. World inside the missions is linear. You usually have a couple of options to counter your enemies, but that's about it. Like, you can choose two different paths to take in order to take those enemies down that are before you silently if you want to, or no, or guns blazing, up to you basically. I usually try to go to silent takedowns, but that's it. You don't have like environment-based killings, for example. Or you could totally ignore some enemies and just go directly to the boss. You couldn't do that. So you actually had to follow some linear path in order to get to the boss, in order to finish the mission, and then it was done. Let me see. Voice acting. This is a masterpiece here. I played with English voices, so you can actually choose the voiceover, also the Sicilian. I played with the English voices, and I really enjoyed the voices actors were talking. I really enjoyed how the voice actors were talking in an Italian dialect, which made all the interactions with the game more immersive. It was very well made. So they didn't pronounce in your perfect English. They actually pronounced like you can guess how Italiano would say some of words in English, for example, or how to well pronounce something, right? So that is how they did it, and it was really cool. I really like this. There was like, you can feel the emotions, you can see the how they pronounce things, you can feel everything from their voice actors work. It was very good. Soundtrack, masterpiece. I really, for example, this main theme that is currently playing on the background, I really like this ambient sound. Like it was playing in different situations in the game. There was another song as well that was played a lot of times in the game. It was very well made. It gives you this 1900s, early 1900s touch, really. It's a little bit rough on the edges, this soundtrack, but that's the cool thing. It's one of the few cases where I would actually like to buy this official soundtrack to actually listen it without playing the game. And this doesn't happen often. Now, to the bad parts. Technical issues with the game. For me, game crashed every time I played, usually at around 1 hour mark. This issue has been reported by many players, and I was one of them. I also were in direct contact with 2K support, but I didn't receive any actual remediations for this issue. The second issue that I had with the game was FPS drops. Especially during the first couple of recordings that I did, where FPS dropped massively when I transitioned into or out from the cutscenes. So FPS went to like low, maybe 10 or even below that. You can see like it's like really bad. I had big FPS drops also in the game, especially in the forest areas. Although my settings, the default settings that game recommends you to play with, were all maximum. So game actually recommended to play on the maximum settings, and I initially tried to play on the native 4K with everything maximum and FPS locked to 60. I tried to do that. It didn't work out, so later times I actually downscaled to 1440p, locked 60, and every other setting on the epic setting or the maximum setting, in order to either fix the crashes or the FPS drops. Now, there is a separate setting for cutscene FPS. Once I downgraded that from unlimited to 60, lock 60, my cutscene FPS went better. So I got that at least resolved, but the game crashes still continued to haunt me until I finished the game. Talking with 2K support didn't really help. Like I said, didn't really help me to resolve the issues. But I wanted to discuss about this a bit in this video because I wanted to say kudos to the 2K support, and I know it sounds strange that support supposedly be help me. They actually tried to help me, so they actually tried to give me some feedback. But the problem with 2K support is that they always blame that I have something to do with my Windows instance. My Windows instance has some corrupted files, please do that. Please verify your Steam files, please do that. Please update your NVIDIA drivers. I always had these things done. And I didn't have any problems with my Windows instance corruption. This is the only game that I have these issues with. And even today, before ending the game, I received an email where they said that I should basically put my game in safe mode in order to check out if that's the issue. I did try it out. I will not try it out. So in that sense, it wasn't very helpful. But kudos for them for trying to help me out there. So overall, I cannot recommend this game, not unless devs will fix the optimization and game crashing issues. Would I recommend this game when I ignore all the technical issues? Yes, I would. Mafia 1 is one of my favorite games, and this game really gave me the same vibes as Mafia 1 did. Story is interesting, not mind-blowing, but interesting. Voice acting is masterful, soundtrack is superb. Overall, game is very nice. It has its touches. It doesn't do anything too different, but it is there. It is a nice experience. Overall package is nice, ignoring the technical problems. Would I pay full price for it? 50 euros, $50? No, I wouldn't. It doesn't do anything new per se for this franchise. And it's definitely not in a AAA scope as well. It is a shorter game, meaning for me it took 15 hours to fully play this game. But I don't mind really the length of the game. I'm okay with this. My sweet spot for this game would be around 40 euros, $40. And then it would be a really good, really must have basically at 40 euros. If the technical issues are resolved. And I hope they are going to be resolved. And that is it. Thank you for my listening for my thoughts about the Mafia: The Old Country. If you do like this game or you are interested in this game, you can check out my recording, my playthrough. Mind you, basically every recorded episode will finish with the game crashing, but you will see the full story. And once they fix the game crashing bugs to the optimizations, I will return to the game. I will go for the exploration. I will do the achievement hunting as well. Until then, I won't go there. And thank you very much. I will see you in another recording. Bye.